Ready, R.
A lot of people
Take
never
R.
thought.
Ready,
Waited
18.
for years.
Take 18.
Many doubted we'd ever see it. But here it is. The return to glory.
Ready, 18, 9,
There you go. I've never seen that before. That's tremendous.
Ready, Jim.
Here goes Joe
Take
LaCava.
Jim.
Let's
Ready,
see
9.
Joe LaCava.
Take 9.
Tell me to let this play all the way.
Ready?
Play this out. Do
One,
not
take
say a
one.
word. This is not say a word. Watch this. Play this all the way out without saying a word.
Ready, Jim. Take Jim. Ready, 9, 18. Take 18. Ready, 18, fine. Take 18, fine. Ready, R. Take R.
All right. Here he comes with the kids.
Awesome.
Did I think Tiger will one day have his Jack Nicklaus of '86 moment? Absolutely.
Tiger Woods now driving.
Anytime he's in the field, you don't count him out.
In one 15-minute stretch, the whole thing flipped.
His hopes and dreams of winning the Masters ended right there.
It wasn't the strike I was looking for.
Two things happen at once. Somebody fails, somebody hits a great shot.
And I can see the look on his face as if to say, are you kidding me?
He's ruthless. In the right way, but he's ruthless.
The most known result before he hit it that I've ever seen in my career.
That was a huge turning point in the 2019 Masters.
We were all mesmerized. It was not just watching golf, was it? We were mesmerized at a historic moment.
As soon as he hits it, you know it's going to be good.
I was in awe of the shot and incapable of speech.
I am compelled to say, oh my goodness.
It's a feel-good story. That's probably the best way to describe it.
One of the best major victories of all time.
And it played out with some of the greatest television moments that our medium has ever seen.
That was everything. That was my whole life right there.
There was not a dry eye in the house.
If you were there, you will remember that for the rest of your days.
I'm Jim Nance.
Senek Faldo.
Joe LaCava.
Amanda Balionis.
Francesco Molinari.
Vern Lundquist.
I'm Ian Poulter.
Trevor Immelman.
I'm Tony Finau.
I was in Butler Cabin.
The 18th Tower.
I played in the 2019 Masters.
I was at the 11th and 12th holes.
I played in the second last group.
I was Tiger's caddy.
And I played with Tiger
In the final group.
It was a Sunday unlike any other. We knew all week long that there was going to be a storm on Sunday.
When we finished the show on Saturday and we had a great leaderboard, Molinari leading, Tiger Woods 2 back. It's a great story, right? And then you look at the weather forecast, and it's not bad. It's horrible. It's like there will be no play in the afternoon.
And if you're running the risk of not finishing on Sunday evening, having to go over to Monday, well, then that is absolutely a no-no. So we've got a window, and we've got to go and take it.
Augusta National Golf Club has just issued a release regarding tomorrow's schedules. It says, given the possibility of severe weather Sunday afternoon, players will be grouped in threesomes with tee time scheduled to begin at 7:30 a.m. off both tees, 1 and 10.
That had never happened before. The Masters final round going early, moving up the tee times. We began to get the idea that this could be something that's not traditional. This could be something that has a completely different feel to it.
Players pretty much knew throughout the week that was the forecast. But then when that news comes through, you have to totally adjust your routines, how early you're going to get up, trying to deal with that and make sure that you're as prepared as you can be.
What does your day look like now, tomorrow?
I'll probably wake up around 4, maybe 3:45, and start the process of getting this body ready and getting going and getting after it.
Tiger was this great balance of really calm, but also having that Tiger smirk back, that Tiger smile where it feels like he has something up his sleeve.
First thing for me, I thought, this is great. We're gonna get out there at 7:30. We got some momentum going. The only negative would be is the fact that it's a quick turnaround for Tiger because he has a lot of prep work in the morning. But at the same time, I think he's got so much momentum going right now, he doesn't care if he gets 2 hours of sleep or 20 minutes of sleep. He's gonna be ready come Sunday morning.
You got a 43-year-old player who's beaten up and is gonna have to get out of bed early when it's cold, probably wet and miserable. And somehow he's gonna have to turn the clock back But he's also going to have to do something he's never, ever done in a major championship, and that's come from behind.
I'll get texts at Tiger 2, 3, 4 in the morning talking about how certain holes are going to play the next day. You know, maybe based on weather or what we did the day before, maybe pin location. But he's 24/7 like that. That's how he's built. That's what he likes to do. So I'll give him maybe my max is 2 texts back a night, and then I said, I'm done, get some sleep, turn the phone off. I got nothing from him that night, which I was happy because I thought, maybe he's sleeping. Maybe he's not thinking about it like he normally does.
Because of the inclement weather, because they're going off of 2 tees in threesomes, he now gets pushed up into that final group.
So now all of a sudden we're going to pair with the 2 guys leading. Big advantage for Tiger.
I've never seen that many people on the first tee at Augusta National. I thought I've seen a lot, and I think that's when I kind of recognized maybe the magnitude of what I was involved in.
It's always dramatic when a player steps onto the first tee, but when it's Tiger Woods and he's in contention, I mean, it's high drama.
Four, please. Tiger Woods now driving.
Tiger playing in the final group just completely changes the dynamic. He knows exactly how to use the crowd to his advantage.
There is nothing like Tiger at Augusta National. It's one of those things that it doesn't happen anywhere else, right? There are no cell phones. The patrons are so locked in, and that energy created something like I've never experienced before, and I don't know if we'll ever experience it again.
At Augusta, the crowd is incredible. And you notice that they're rooting for Tiger more than they are you. And they all want Tiger to win. It doesn't mean they're anti-you, but they're certainly looking for Tiger to win this thing. That helps a lot.
It's not easy, obviously, when you feel like everyone is wishing someone else is winning. That day, he was the guy for the patrons, and everyone wanted him to win.
It's like a nice way of gamesmanship, let's just say. And that's why him getting into that final group, even though he was behind through 54 holes, was a massive break for him.
The 2019 Masters, a Sunday unlike any other, in partnership with Rolex.
Tiger, do you feel like you need to win here again, or do you just want to win here again?
Well, I don't really need to win again. I really want to.
Augusta takes experience, and listen, his record before 2019 was off the charts. So he already had that box checked. It was just a matter of would he be able to hold up for that long, or would he be able to handle the moment? Well, yeah, he's Tiger Woods. Darn right he can.
Don't underestimate greatness, because he played good the first day, but didn't putt well. Second day, he played a little bit better. And then the third day, he put himself in position, and he believed he could win.
I know he was on a mission to get his kids up there because he could smell it. My kids haven't really seen me at the age they are now win a major. And that's the biggest thing I want them to see right now, because they don't have any idea what this was like.
He probably knows in the back of his mind, I may never get another opportunity. Maybe is this the last chance to climb Everest again? And you can't just flip the switch and say, oh yeah, I'll go and climb Everest next week. No, it was a combination of everything, family all there, wanting to show his son, his children, he can still play and create history again.
This for par. He's got him again.
Got off that 5th green and bogeyed it for the 4th day in a row, and we're both really running hot.
4 over for the week at the 5th hole.
I was saying some things I can't really repeat here. And then I went into the restroom and proceeded to say the same things over and over to myself. And then I came out and I felt a lot better.
It's going to be a 3-shot lead for Francesco when he steps up on 6T.
We didn't have an opportunity to talk right off the first tee box. He was ahead of me, I was ahead of him, just the way things worked out. So it was actually number 7. Was the first time that we both hit, tee shots in the fairway, and we just happened to walk off the tee at the same time. So I initiated a conversation. I just was basically like, hey, how's the family? How's Sam and Charlie? And he just with a blank stare just looked over at me and was like, they're fine. And he just kept walking. So I knew that was the last conversation we were gonna have, and it pretty much was.
I think that was Tiger's message, as if to say, listen, I like you, but we're not gonna have a lot of chit chat today. I'm here to win this tournament, and that's it.
Tiger sort of put him in his place pretty quickly.
I remember being more settled down once he knew the kids were there.
And the first time I saw him was on 7.
Look at this. How about it?
And so I hit that shot, I spun it back down the hole, I had that little tap in. And after I hit the tap in, I looked up and I saw on the left-hand side, Charlie just jumping and screaming and throwing his fists up in the air. That's when I finally realized that they had gotten there.
There's the roar for Tiger, and now he trails by 1, alone in second at 11 under.
I was thrilled that they were going to be able to have that moment with him, that they were going to see the greatness of their father.
Birdie for Woods at 7 and 8.
To have the kids understand that I'm not a YouTube guy, I'm not the YouTube dad, that I could still do it.
You can look at all the replays, the clips, and the highlights that you want, but there's nothing like feeling what a triumph is in person. It's going to be seared in your heart forever.
We go back to the 9th, and every hole has been its own little chapter, its own little drama.
He started just very nicely, very cautiously.
Oh, mud.
Really interesting part on the back of number 9.
I told my caddy, like, I didn't think that he could hit it inside 6 feet. You know, I thought 6 feet was going to be an incredible putt. With where he had to hit it, the precision to even hit it within a handful of feet, I thought was going to be pretty much impossible.
You look at Tiger pondering. He's trying to visualize, stand and look and feel it. In usual Tiger fashion, he's trying to find a way to make this.
And of course, he hits it. It takes, I don't know how long it took. It might have took 30 seconds to get to the hole. And, you know, he ends up hitting it to this.
Look at this.
Not going to be short, is it?
No, there it goes. This is just perfection.
Look, caught the apex.
It's all yours, Jim.
Oh my goodness. Not quite.
I'll never forget the look when the ball is halfway. Looked to the right and saw a glimpse of Francesco, and I could see the look on his face as if to say, are you kidding me? Because he knew it was going to be a great putt at the time. I could see that took a little steam out of Francesco when I saw that look.
I remember when he hit his ball sort of back of the green, I thought he had virtually no chance to park from there, and he almost made it.
The best lag putt I've probably ever seen that hasn't gone in, for sure.
That was magnificent. Shoots 1 under on the side. 9 holes to go.
If you're going to 10 after the 9-2 putt, yes, you're excited, you're pumped up. I think in the back of Tiger's mind, he also knows he's got to start hitting it a little bit better.
I always remember Ken Venturi, the great CBS Sports analyst for golf for many, many years, saying that the tournament doesn't start until second 9 on Sunday.
The first 63 holes, you're jockeying for position, and now you let it rip. Because the second 9 gives you so many opportunities to do great things, but there's always the high risk that you could face disaster too, because the water comes into play on so many holes. It's feast or famine. You can make a 3, you can make a 7, and that's one of the many things that makes the Masters the greatest tournament of all.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting chess match to see who blinks first. Molinari, who's been impeccable with his ball striking and consistent, sticking with his game plan. Tiger, who's hit some errant shots but got away with them. Will his presence make a difference in the other players' games?
I mean, here we are with Molinari and Tiger again in the mix for a major. Just a summer ago, Molinari was able to stare him down, so to speak, and win the claret jug. So it felt like it could be Francesco's time. But wider, you've got Koepka and Dustin Johnson and Ian Poulter and Tony Finau. It's a wide open race to the finish at Augusta.
Masters Sunday, back nine, as we all know, is as good as it gets.
They always say the Masters doesn't start to the second nine on Sunday. I think it's wrong. That's where the pressure ramps up. It becomes almost insurmountable.
Once they all realize there's a chance to win a green jacket, doesn't matter who you are. Molinari, Finau, and Koepka are all trying to win their first. And with Tiger there as well, talk about a pressure cooker that you wouldn't believe.
The famous views of 12, the shortest par 3 at Augusta. Of course, you're not just going into a normal green. It's protected by these gleaming white bunkers or raised creek. It looks so good, but you put a little foot wrong and it just becomes disastrous. It's beautiful.
It just needs to be a 4 or 5 mile an hour wind that really casts that seed of doubt in your mind, and you're starting to wonder, is it switching around? Is it swirling around? You're trying to time when you make your swing whilst those swirls are happening.
You feel the wind, you look at the flag on 11, you see it blowing one way, you look down on the 12th green, the pin's doing exactly the opposite. Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be bad.
Sometimes they can go out there and falls to the ground. Other times you've seen the golf ball ride the wind, literally stays in the air forever. Something magical about that spot.
12 is just not a place where you want to take unnecessary risk.
Now, Koepka back at 12, 9-iron.
I actually backed off my first shot because the wind was off the right and we thought it was off the left. I'd encourage anybody to go on that tee and see which way the wind goes because we don't even know as we're hitting it. There's some times where you can hit good shots and they don't work out. And that was one of them. I hit it exactly how I wanted to. You could just see it climb a little bit at the end and I was like, oh boy, we're in trouble.
Cost Spieth back in 2016. Might have just cost Koepka today.
I know people are like, you got to aim for the center of the green. It's exactly what we were trying to do. And then the wind just puffed up and we won't see 4 guys hit in the water like that all in a row without something going on.
To what appears quiet down at 12. Poulter took one more club than Koepka.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Should I have hit it over the middle of the traps? Probably. Was I being a little aggressive after bogeying 11? Probably. Did I hit a good shot? I thought I actually hit a great shot. Mid-flight, I thought I stiffed it. The yardage I had to cover on the right side was a perfect yardage. I was more than shocked to see the ball come up short.
Gets the same result. 2 of the game's best. Koepka, Poulter, wet. Everybody talks about the roars at Augusta National. You hear groans. Groans resonate just as much, and you can feel it.
Back to 11.
Once, my guy hits his second shot into 11, you're still focused on 11 because he may call you in for a read, but I'm always peeking over at 12. So I see Brooks short dropping and Poulter short dropping. I see Webb Simpson over the green. So I know something's going on tricky with the wind. Because one guy could hit maybe a bad shot, but for both to be short, I can't say 2 guys of that quality hit bad shots.
In one 15-minute stretch, the whole thing flipped. Everything flipped. Molinari seemed to be unflappable.
At that time, Frankie was the guy to beat. We knew Tiger was right there, but Frankie was the guy leading.
Knowing Molinari and Molinari's game, the fact that he's coming to a short par 3, personally, I thought it was to his advantage. Great short iron play.
That little draw should work nicely for him. 3 yards left of the flag, hit a draw into safety. I think he would take that.
I had a very clear plan on what to do on 12, which was, forgetting about the flag and hitting the middle of the green, aiming pretty much at the middle of the front trap. It was a good decision, just a bad execution. I remember it being in between 8 and 9 iron. Pretty quickly realized it wasn't the strike I was looking for.
I don't know how many thousand balls he hit with an 8-iron. And that's probably, over the last 5 to 10 years, the worst 8-iron he'd ever had.
That was a huge turning point in 2019 Masters.
You don't think that door has flown open now? Can Woods take advantage?
I always believe in golf, especially at the Masters, two things happen at once. Somebody fails, somebody hits a great shot. And that's exactly what happened.
We've already gone over the numbers. We've already decided we're going to play a little bit left, like Tiger always does, regardless of the situation. We know it's probably a good solid 9-iron, and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of wind up there. But again, I'm going back 10, 12 minutes before that when I see those guys short. So I know something's going on, but at the same time, you don't feel the wind. You just got to figure it out on the tee. One thing that Tiger did, and I think it helped the fact that we saw Francesco hit it in the water, is that Tiger went a little further left and hit a little more full and harder than he normally would have. And as he hit it, you know he hit it solid, but you can see as it's about halfway getting stalled. Even though you don't feel any of that wind on the tee, and you see it, now you're thinking, oh my God, what's going on here? And now you're saying, get over the water. So there was some wind up there that you could not feel on the tee, which was crazy.
That was safe going safe, that one, wasn't it? That's what Big Jack would say. If in doubt, you go in between the two bunkers, front and back.
Koepka, Poulter, Molinari wet, Woods dry.
It was a crazy range of emotions, at that time. Tiger steps up and he's not even looking anywhere near the hole. He's looking about 40 feet left and executes the shot perfectly.
People say that Tiger Woods hit a safe shot on 12. No, he hit a smart shot. He hit the shot. Tiger Woods knew the 3 was valuable, even not leading. Over the middle bunker, the same thing that Jack Nicklaus has done for 30, 40 years. Discipline.
I was 3 back at that time, and so I knew this was the opportunity. Lock in and hit it on the green, hit a good shot. And so, I'm not really trying to overthink it or anything, and get your 3 and get out of there. That's the mindset. I just barely missed the shot.
Unbelievable.
That is the one shot that I'd like to have back, if there is one, throughout my whole entire career. Having been in that position, it would have been nice to have that one back and hit in the middle of the green and see what would have happened.
Amen corner, the golfing gods, the swirling breezes have bitten them hard.
Tiger's energy was maybe a little bit frustrated with that first 10, 11 holes, but then you could see when I hit in the water on 12, and you could almost see his body language change, and he could smell the opportunity.
You can feel how the patrons are reacting, that they know that something special is taking place.
I'm sitting in 18th town, and we got the scoreboard there, and the swell of patrons was just increasing all the time, and they watched the scoreboard and reacted to that. And it was like more people started to gather. I've never seen a team 30 deep with nobody on the green. That's what I was sitting there going, this is unbelievable. The whole place was just swelling, waiting for the procession to arrive. That's 2 more hours to go. That's why it was such an incredible final day.
The 2019 Masters, a Sunday unlike any other, in partnership with Rolex.
What was the buzz out there? Tiger alluded to it. It was just an incredible, intensity on that second 9.
Yeah, that was probably the coolest back 9 in a major championship I've ever been a part of, or just in golf in general.
And Schauffele, more than 65 feet away.
Oh, can you believe it? Patrick Cantlay at 15, this to take the lead, and he is your leader.
There were so many guys who had a chance to win on that back 9. You could have had more drama.
Tiger's bred a whole new generation of golfers, and they're standing up well to his pressure.
Now I know why I'm balding. This stuff is hard.
So we come around after hitting a great tee shot on 13. You come around that corner, And you look up at the big board on 13, you're thinking, wow, I think it's just Tiger right now and kind of Francesco. But all of a sudden I look up, it's Cantley, it's Schauffele, it's DJ, it's Brooks. You know, the who's who of golf. So now I'm thinking to myself, we still got a lot of work to do.
As the story goes, there was one player that Woods was really cognizant on the leaderboard, and that was Koepka, because we forget how well Koepka was playing through 17, 18, and 19. So there was a big step backwards when Koepka rinsed one at 12, but he bounced back straight away.
13.
And Brooks Koepka trying to get that double right back, and does!
I played great. I really did. I played a solid 4 days of golf, and at the same time, you know, I made some mistakes.
And at 15, that was the eagle putt.
Oh, that stays up.
That he's hit a couple of really poor short irons this afternoon.
To win a golf tournament, you got to play really good. Simple fact. And he just did that better than everybody else that week.
For birdie. And that's a dozen under. Co-leader.
He really did sense that, you know, I'm the seasoned campaigner. I'm Masters champion. I've really been here. 4 jackets. He knows that one shot is going to be key at the right time.
Tiger on the 15th tee, setting up for his cut. And executes perfectly.
He's just loving the extra bit of, you know, intensity needed, isn't he?
I remember thinking when Tiger got over his, like, this is a big shot.
And the weight on top of the hill, Nick, has got to be excruciating.
He looks calm though, doesn't he?
He had to have had 225, 230 to the hole, but I knew it was a big shot because he can hit it in a place that can get him in trouble. He can hit it in the water. If he blows it over the green, that's not an easy up and down.
Down ball. Down.
Oh, yes. That's Masters experience right there.
I thought that was a golf shot that won Tiger the tournament. He hit it right in the middle of the back of the green, and I knew he wasn't going to 3-putt, but I thought that was a huge birdie for Tiger on 15.
The shot that I really would like to have back was the third shot at 15. I remember getting to the ball, seeing the branch and those pine cones hanging from there. So I thought about playing a lower shot with my 56-degree wedge, but I was worried that they would not have enough spin to stop close to the hole. So I switched to the 60, trying to aim a little further right and just pulled it a little bit.
Wow.
I think this might have hit the tree.
Pine cone comes down. Yes, the pine cone came down before the water.
Yep.
Boy.
That was a tough one to watch because Frankie was still very much in the golf tournament, and his hopes and dreams of winning the Masters, I think, ended right there.
Tiger being there in 2, you know, he's probably going to make a 4. So I don't want to say if you're Francesco, you're kind of trying to force it in there, but you also know, listen, I pretty much got to make a 4 here now too.
2 bogeys and 2 double bogeys in the final round for Francesco. Pressure on a Sunday at Augusta.
My thought was like, this is it, it's over. Can't really do much more in those last 3 holes.
Tiger shows no emotion. I don't know what he's thinking inside, but he shows no emotion. Maybe he thinks, listen, I've got my own issues here. I've got to 2-putt this thing and move on. So I can't worry about what anyone else is doing.
Tiger Woods has the lead at -13.
He went from Tiger is the one pursuing, and there's a lot of people in the mix, to suddenly it felt like the old days. Oh my gosh, Tiger's on top of the leaderboard? How am I going to beat this guy? I can't beat this guy.
He knew that once I get in front of everybody, nobody's going to catch me.
And 16 through the years, my goodness, what a stage.
So as soon as he hits it, you know it's going to be good. You know, you just know.
When Tiger teed off at 16, I absolutely failed to describe it. I was in awe of the shot and incapable of speech.
The shot at 16, just spectacular.
The other thing I remember is on the replay, Michael Phelps, perhaps the greatest Olympian ever, was standing right behind the box. He was like I was. He was awestruck. He couldn't say a word.
Tried not to be a fan, but I know all of us in the truck was yelling, go in, because can you imagine if he had knocked a hole in one on the 16th hole?
Vern would have fallen out of his tower if he'd had to go through. In your life, have you ever done that one? How do I finish that line off, you know?
I am compelled to say, oh my goodness.
At Augusta, you definitely know which player it is by the size of the roar.
The ground shakes. The electricity is different.
It's really, truly cool to see.
Every single person on the hole standing up want this ball to go in, and the funny thing is the only person that doesn't care if it doesn't go in is me. I just want it to be close, make birdie, and get out of here. You know what I mean? You don't think hole in one on the tee.
It's only like a 4-foot putt. I know exactly what it does. And I said, Joey, come on, take a look at this.
I said, take a look at this one. Are you kidding me? Knock this thing in the back of the hole, pro. You're too good to even worry about this little putt.
Right in the middle. Right in the middle.
He teased me to this day that I was afraid to read a putt on the 70th hole of the Masters. I just thought it was so last minute, I don't want to throw him his office routine. I love reading putts, and he knows that. So we have a running joke going with that.
That's when I thought, he's not going to let go of it. Because everybody else, again, was still trying to deal with, I'm now trying to win my first green jacket, and I've now got to beat Tiger to get my first green jacket. I think that's when they knew that this is not going to happen. This is really impossible.
You know, what he did coming down the stretch was impressive, and I mean, we already knew Tiger was back, but I think he just put the exclamation point on that. He's just good, man. I don't know what to say.
The 2019 Masters, a Sunday unlike any other, in partnership with Rolex.
Koepka back on the tee at 18.
Just got to find a way to make a three.
Well, that's a good start.
There you go. What a great shot.
Koepka can make this thing interesting if he holds this putt. This would definitely put pressure on Tiger's finish. Hold it left, going left. Might have been his worst stroke of the day. So 5 will win for Tiger. That's all he needs.
I finished my round when he was coming up 17.
So he heads to the last, 14 under. What a performance, Tiger. Just one more hole to go.
And I had never seen the champions locker room that full. The appreciation for him, for Augusta National, for the Masters, for the fact that he's going to win for the 5th time. It was standing room only.
Generally on Sunday afternoons, those who are not preparing to go sit in Butler Cabin with Jim Nance as the champion, they sign their scorecards, they come in to do their interviews, and they are leaving as quickly as possible. Not one player wanted to leave. It was jam-packed in that room.
My job's actually over on the 12th hole. It's one of the few times, just because it felt magical, I wanted to watch every single bit of it. So I rushed back to our compound, and I was a viewer. I got to watch and listen to our team put the finishing touches on.
Number 15 is so close, you can just feel it. It's not over yet, but Tiger about to. It appears in the 11-year drought between major titles. On the nose.
I was able to enjoy that walk up with Tiger and just understand the magnitude, I think, of really what was going to happen for our game and again for Tiger Woods. I mean, the first Masters I ever watched was '97. He inspired me to pick up a golf club and play. So I started playing golf in the summer of '97. And now walking up 18, I was able to soak it in at that moment and say, wow, this is really cool.
In 18 fairway, he's driven it on the right side of the fairway. He's got some issues here. There are limbs that are blocking a direct line for him. So he's taking his time discussing what he's going to do strategically with Joe.
We're kind of going back and forth because he knows to this left pin, he cannot be long and he cannot be left. But Tiger hits an 8-iron that went about the distance of a pitching wedge.
I remember being quite impressed with the second shot because he didn't even try to get it on the green. He was always gonna finish short and right. So, you know, he didn't leave any chance of going long left.
What he did was he hit this thing so high and out on the toe to make sure it didn't go past pin high or didn't get to the front of the green and was always going to be right. From there, he knew he could do anything he wanted to and certainly make a 5.
Steve Moulton, our director, cuts to a shot behind the green, and my gosh, it startled me. There is Sam and Charlie, daughter and son, and it struck me that this was one of the biggest moments of his life that they were going to be able to eyeball for the first time. Dad, like he used to be. Dad defying all odds and winning the Masters.
I was so amazed that it's 11 years after winning a major. 11. I mean, some golfers can lose their nerve after 11 weeks of not winning a tournament. You know, or 11 months, or a couple of years, you're suddenly thinking, geez, can I do it again? But for him to come back and play with that control, that nerve, off the charts in my book.
Play for the slope for safety. I don't believe it. I've never seen Tiger play for safety. How about that? 2 putts. 2 putts for the title.
As I was walking up on the green after I hit my pitch shot, if you look at my eyes, I look up and I could see him. And I said, okay, well, no, come on. You got work to do. It's not over yet. You got 2 putts here. Well, first of all, let's bury this thing so we don't have to worry about the 2 putts.
Seen him make this putt many times before. Let him in history. Okay. That went over the edge. What happened?
And I could see his knees bend a little bit as if to say he wanted the putt to go in so bad. I'm thinking to myself, this is the first time ever you've wanted a putt to go in that doesn't matter.
Just missed it, but then, still had work to do. And then when I finished my work, I could let the emotions go, and I let them go.
Waited for years. Many doubted we'd ever see it. But here it is. The return to glory.
That one you could tell, ball in the hole, and then bang, he realizes that wasn't just a 5-minute dream. That was months, if not years, of preparing, believing that I can do this again. And it's like, and I've done it again.
Think about the years leading up to that day, and you think about what he had gone through. Now he's about to put the green jacket on for the 5th time. And when that ball went in, he just let it out.
There you go.
Never seen that before. Here goes Joe
LaCava. Take 9.
And the fact that, he says, we did it, that's incredible, right? The greatest player of all time is basically saying you're a part of the team. I wasn't surprised or shocked because he's always made me feel like a part of it since day one, right? That's just who he is.
It was incredible to feel the appreciation of the patrons.
They continued to embrace him with those Tiger chants that might have been even louder than any of the Tiger roars that we heard all week. Everything felt so much bigger than just Tiger. And I think that was the reminder that he truly transcends the world of golf.
That narrative with that moment in time, for that man and for that family, that's what it was. It was a moment of glory. And after that, what can you say? there's nothing you can say.
Jim Nantz and Nick Faldo did something astonishing, in my view, for people in my craft. They laid out for 2 minutes and 35 seconds. And I was in awe of their discipline.
Let this play all the way. Play this out. Do not say a word. Do not say a word. Ready, 18, take 18. Just watch this. Just watch this. Play this all the way out without saying a word.
It's a visual medium, and in front of us was the greatest celebration the game has ever seen.
To have the sense of purpose of letting the moment breathe and letting it live. And that was superb broadcasting.
Many people say that was my best work. So, you know, so I think we were all mesmerized. It was not just watching golf, was it? We were mesmerized at a historic moment again.
And it played out with some of the greatest television moments that our medium has ever seen.
The most special moment to me was the fact that he could share that with his kids. For them to be there and appreciate what he's been through to get there. They've seen the downtimes, they've seen all the struggles, they've seen the rehab, they've seen the work.
That moment of walking off and your boy's there, and obviously he's got memories, his dad's not there. That was his hug with his dad and then with his boy. I don't know how, I wouldn't be able to keep it together. I'm amazed how he could keep that together.
If there was ever like a plaque behind the 18th green, the hug that Tiger had with Earl in 1997 was precisely the same spot where Tiger hugged Charlie. So you have a son being embraced by a father, and now the son is the father hugging his son. That's as rich as it gets.
I never thought we'd see anything that could rival the hug with his father, but we just did. That will be the greatest scene in golf forever, Jim Nantz. If that doesn't bring a tear to your eye, if you're a parent, you're not human.
I can tell you every single person in that room that I was watching this with, there was not a dry eye in the house. We all confirmed that we were human.
He's a father, and he's walking through that human tunnel with the kids. I mean, it's like, it's emotional. And there were the players, one after another, that stayed around to not only watch the finish, but to greet him.
There was real love and adoration expressed by those men for that man. It's a scene I'll never, ever forget.
I wanted to see it. I wanted to congratulate him for seeing everything he's been through. You know, I remember I saw him at Medalist, and he was out there with Charlie and everybody. And I mean, he looked awful walking. He really did. He didn't look in good shape. He was just struggling, and you could see it in his face, and you can see it in his eyes. And you know, to see where he was in, I think it was 2017, to where he is now, you know, it's a feel-good story. That's probably the best way to describe that. It's neat to see.
The stuff he's been through, the layoff that was between majors, to be able to do it again, I think everybody respects it.
It's very easy when you have a ton of success to take your foot off the gas and enjoy everything you've accomplished, particularly when you've been through physically what he had been through. But he's just wired different. And seeing the smile on his face, seeing the relief on his face, the enjoyment, you know, he was back. He was back at the top.
That was history right there. I think that was so good for our sport. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're a golf fan, that's what you needed to see, and that's what you wanted to see.
I think it's the greatest comeback in all the sports, not just in golf. But I don't think that there'll ever be a better comeback story than Tiger winning the 2019 Masters.
At the time, it was such an amazing achievement, and you could definitely feel it was a special day for our sport. I think from an emotional standpoint, it has to be one of the biggest days in golf.
Pure greatness. You saw it come
I'm back again. The moments don't come any bigger than this. And a celebration ringing the 18th that will rival any winning scene in any sport.
Tiger, welcome back. Or should I say more appropriately, welcome home.
Yeah, just unreal. To be honest with you, it's just the whole tournament has meant so much to me over the years. Coming here in '95 for the first time and be able to play as an amateur, winning in '97, and then come full circle 22 years later, to be able to do it again. This has meant so much to me and my family, this tournament, and to have everyone here. It's something I'll never, ever forget.
If you had a chance to take one image from your whole career that defined you as a golfer and what was in your heart more than anything else, what would that image be, that snapshot?
It would be the 19 Masters, just because of what I had gone through. I didn't know if I was ever going to play again. Walking wasn't very good. I didn't know if I could walk. I was struggling with that. And then to battle back, I mean, a lot of the players, the reason why they're all there, I mean, they saw me in the training room. They saw how bad it was. And a lot of the players were texting me and FaceTiming me because they knew how bad I was at the time, which I had fought through to get to that point where I had fallen off from. And I battled back and was able to put it all together and was able to win one last major. Started at Augusta.
There it is, a win for the ages.
And then for it to end at Augusta, and I've had some pretty good years in between there. From my dad being there to some of the other big wins there to complete the slam to going back to back. I had a pretty good chip in '05. I've had some good moments there, and then to have the family there at the very end. Hopefully that's not the end of it, but as of right now, those are two pretty good bookends.